Keystone Eats. I'm looking at Joey Snyder and his wonderful t-shirt and hat that both say Keystone Eats. We are the Pennsylvania Food and Beer Podcast, talking about all the great stuff in Pennsylvania, local, sexy, and delicious. I'm joined by two co-hosts. Danny Rosa. How's it going, Dan?
I'm feeling really good.
Oh, Dan's feeling great. How about my other co-host, Joey Snyder? How's it going, Joey?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel pretty good myself.
Nice.
Getting
well,
there.
It might have been all of the delicious cider we just drank.
I think that has something to do with it.
It may have a little bit to do
bit.
with it. This week on our podcast, we're talking about Big Hill Ciderworks. They are a cidery located in Pennsylvania that makes amazing stuff. I don't think we ever expected to taste such delicious ciders today, but man,
A lot of it.
a lot of ciders that tasted like it's apples in my mouth. I mean, that's what cider is.
Cider is.
That is what cider is. I think we were very excited to give this episode a try. Give these ciders a try.
Changing our wheelhouse.
Change it up a little bit. I mean, we've done some food stuffs, we've done some beers here, but man,
A lot of beers.
so these are coming from apples grown in our great state of Pennsylvania. This coming from cideries that pick their own stuff and make it into delicious alcohol. I mean, you can't go wrong with that kind of process.
In Adams County. That's where they're from.
Yes.
Gardner's, PA.
Big Hill Ciderworks out in Adams County, Gardner's, PA. We had a little taste of this before, Dan. Do you remember ages ago when we went down to Trogs?
Yeah. And they said on the Trogs episode, they partner with some local guys to try out some of the stuff.
And if you look at our Instagram, I posted a picture of our great co-host for his Danny's 30th birthday.
Oh, I feel old.
Old man.
Yeah, old man here.
I feel old.
Joe, you're 32. Shut up.
Damn,
I'm
you're
not 32.
No, you're 30.
2 years older than us?
You're 30 as
Stayed
well.
Back 2 years in high school?
3. Actually, I graduated early.
I don't believe either of those things.
Shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't.
So yeah, you can see in that picture specifically, we tried Big Hill Ciderworks a while ago, and I mean it was good then.
It was good, yeah.
It was something different. I mean, we were drinking a bunch of beer at Trogs,
trying a bunch of stuff. It was just like a guy's day out and hanging out.
You know, guys' day. We just go
Guys'
out
day.
and
Just go hang out with your guys.
Fuck was I at?
You were probably working.
It's like a 99.
You don't have a guy's day. you
There's a
just work.
99% chance I was working.
I will put money on that.
yeah, I believe it. Hey y'all, it's Alex here. Little cutaway here. I actually got the chance to shoot over the founders and business partners of Big Hill Ciderworks some questions, and they got back to me, so I wanted to cut in here to give you a little more information straight from the guys and gals themselves who run Big Hill Ciderworks. I reached out to Ben reached out to me after I posted a picture on Instagram, and he said, hey, if you got any questions or information you want to hear from me, let me know. So I shot him over some questions through email, and Ben got back to me. I asked Ben who he is and what does he do, and he told me Big Hill Ciderworks was founded in 2013 by Ben and his business partner Troy. They both previously held jobs in the auto service industry and both decided to pursue their dreams of farming. They met in the dealership in 2006 and started talking about this project in 2011. Troy is the mastermind behind the cider, from apples, blends, pressing, and fermentation techniques, and more, while Ben himself manages the bookwork, packaging, and a lot of the sourcing. In short, they grow, press, ferment, bottle, sell, and distribute all of their ciders right from their farms in Adams County. They grow over 40 different apple varieties on about 40 acres between 2 farms, as well as berries, cherries, peaches, and vegetables on Troy's farm. They don't use any added sugars in any of their ciders and blend different varieties or ciders to achieve the final flavor profile. So it seems like they definitely cut in some fruits to get the different profiles, and not adding any of those added sugars is a nice detail there. Growing fruit has so many variables that lead to different flavors, tastes, and processes for their cider. Each year has different weather, conditions, and challenges that can really show through in the cider, and that's what they try to showcase. It's not as much about replicating the same batch after batch, but more utilizing the fruit from each harvest and making the best cider we can. They feel it has been improving year over year. They have really been able, it seems like they've really been able to take what the best they can get from growing and from harvesting the crop they have, and finding the best way to take that product and make it into the best cider they can possibly get, which is awesome. I reached out to them and said, "Hey, how do you make your cider?" And they said Troy started making wine and cider in the early 2000s. He started fermenting different varieties of apples and putting different together blends. Since then, he's been constantly tweaking to make sure they can put out the best cider possible. Troy also has always had a dream of owning a farm and being able to live off his land, which is awesome. Ben got into brewing beer when he was living in Detroit in around 2008 and 2009, and really got into craft beer in 2010 while moonlighting at a bottle shop outside of Philly. Before Big Hill Ciderworks came into existence, both Troy and Ben were in the auto service industry. Troy was a technician and service manager for years at a local dealership. Ben had been a tech for a short time, but then Troy hired him on as a service writer at the dealership. Ben then went on to work in the industry for manufacturers in Detroit and Philly. Ben's last job was the district parts and service manager for a Subaru of America. So they come from the auto service industry, which is definitely a big change there, jumping over from cars to apples. I asked them what their favorite thing was about running a cidery, and Troy and Ben both share a passion for farming and creating a product. Troy loves experimenting, blending, and trying new things, which drives the next best thing he can come up with. They're constantly evolving and improving on processes to make things better or more efficient. They have also developed some incredible relationships in the cider and restaurant brewery industry that obviously holds an important part in their process. They left the auto industry because there was more focus on achieving a certain score and not necessarily the relationships, which I think a lot of us can relate to. In the cider world, they've worked hard to build these relationships and would do anything to help their accounts and other cideries, and they really want to help the other people in their industry really work together and make a good product. They told me it's really incredible to be out to eat and overhear someone who they don't know order a cider and hear their comments on it, whether they like it or not. Ben compares it to if he were a musician, like to hear someone enjoy your song on the radio, and that makes sense. It's nice to hear that they get to go out and have that experience where someone else is tasting their product and either liking it or not liking it, and it's definitely a surreal moment, I can imagine, to have someone else drink your product, taste your product, and give their opinions on it. That's something that you pour your heart and soul into. So it's nice to hear that. I asked the guys if they have any future plans or events in Big Hill Ciderworks' future. They've been battling with their township for years to open a retail space and tasting room on their farms. Luckily, they're getting closer and hope to have something open in the next few months. So we will definitely give you an update in the future when something comes along for them, and I hope it's soon. I'd love to check out a space for them and hope that they can make that dream come true. That sounds awesome. They look forward every year to each harvest and the different vintages of traditional ciders. So some will be returning, like their Newtown Wixon. They're also working on some different things, like a Somerset Red Streak / Stoke Red. These are 2 apple varieties. So trying to take some of these apple varieties and making a blend out of them. So they have some different things in the works. And like I said, they brew those small batches. So it a lot of different stuff that can come into play here. And I hope they make some good new ciders in the future that we can try and tell you about in the future. I threw in one last question, which I always like to throw out. I asked them what their favorite cider they made. And Ben told me it's always hard to answer that question. He says it always honestly depends on what he's doing. If it's a long, hot day, a Michaud Mule is refreshing. Kingston Black is my go-to for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And Marmald is what he looks forward to when he's with his sour beer friends. So it really varies. And hey, I can relate to that. Like you said, a long, hot day. We love, on Keystone Eats, we love to drop the where should I drink this category, and I think Ben is right along the line. Same with us there. He says Summer Scrumpy as a special place for both of them. It was the first cider of Troy's that he tried back in 2012 and was the first cider that they bottled, kegged, and sold. So obviously that has a special place in their hearts. I want to thank Ben for reaching out to me and answering some questions for us. It really makes us have a little more information for you guys to listen to, and I hope you check them out. Check out Big Hill Ciderworks. They make great stuff, and they ship to many places, and if we have any future updates that we see from them, we'll be sure to let you know, and keep an eye out for these guys. They're doing great stuff. Back to our regular tasting and rating. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. So why don't we dive into our 6 different ciders that we tried out here. I'm going to go a little out of order, trying to stick to a cohesive path. Apparently not. We're all showing pictures.
We're showing the cider list, but which one are we starting on?
We're starting with number 1. Is the mule.
Was it the mule? But he said he just said he's going out of order.
No, we're gonna go in order. So.
Oh my god.
Well, you guys fucked it up. Like. So we're gonna jump into the 6 ciders that we tried here. I am going to hate editing this.
Yeah.
We'll start with. I was gonna go in a certain order, but everyone decided against that. We're gonna jump.
We didn't say anything.
So shut up. We're gonna jump into the first cider that was on my flight that I provided to my friends and pseudo family.
Brothers.
The Michaud.
2 brothers.
Michaud Mule. 3 brothers. Do we have descriptions on that, my friends?
Got that, Joey?
Got that.
All right, Joey, why don't you tell me about...
So this is Big Hill Ciderworks. It's their take on a Moscow Mule. The cider's been stepped on with organic ginger that warms on the finish, fresh lime zest, also citrus notes. It makes it a good cider for any weather.
Ooh.
We back sweeten with just a touch of fresh apple cider for a smooth apple character.
Okay.
I mean, like we all said, we tasted it. We compared it to a Moscow Mule. I mean, it has that ginger to it. It has that smooth apple finish.
6.5% ABV.
6.5%. Dude, it was the most Moscow Mule a cider could ever get. I think it was delicious. You know what I mean? Like it was literally it was like taking apple and Moscow Mule, putting it in a bottle and sipping on it.
That's a good combination there.
It is definitely a good combination. So it is definitely a mule style type cider. It was nice and crisp with the lime and ginger coming through.
We like our mules.
We could definitely taste that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. It was a nice light yellow, clear cider. You could see right through it. Nice light and yellow. It had a good flavor. I honestly think that it was one of the best ciders I've had. Dan, your wife was going nuts over it. She loves a good mule. She loves a good cider.
And it was like
we gave her the rest of the bottle. Yeah.
I think things I enjoy was just mix in one bottle. And she's like, mine.
I think I convinced her that she's going to order some of her own at this point.
Yeah, she probably will. Yeah. And you can get them in the big boy bottles.
Yeah, they come in 22-ounce bottles. It was definitely a good cider.
And a half keg. She might get a half keg.
Yeah,
okay.
And a half keg. Sixth keg or half keg.
Ooh. So we can definitely say that this was a good cider to start off with. I don't think we had anything bad to say about it.
Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about any of them, but
that's true. I mean, we'll get into that. Dan, why don't you tell me what you gave Mule?
I gave it a strong 9.
Strong 9. That is...
Hey-o.
Yeah, that's a good score. I mean, right off the bat, a nice 9 in there. Really telling.
Good drinker. I could keep drinking it.
Dude, I could drink 3 bottles of that in one sitting. Yeah. It's good
That's
ABV.
the point.
True.
That is
the point of anything.
That is the point.
I don't drink to get sober.
Joey, what did you give yours?
I gave it a 7. Now, I am not very big on ciders. It's not something I go to on a regular basis.
But he dabbles.
But I do like to dabble sometimes and go back and check them out. I know my wife likes ciders, so usually when she gets one, I'll try and get one and try it out. But my rating is a 7.
Still a strong number.
Yeah,
7's a good number. Good number.
It's good. It's a good number.
I think you're 7 in life.
Ooh, I mean, that's good.
I'd say 9, but
you just said it was a good number.
I still dabble.
I try you out on occasion, like, you know what I mean. 7 and 9. Do you give me the math on that, Dan?
It is an 8.
Solid 8 out of 10 on the mission.
What's your number?
I gave it a 9, dude.
There you go.
Dude, I could, like I said, I could drink this all day.
It's good.
It's a good. I mean, ciders are good, light, crisp, outside, nice hot day beer.
But the flavor profile
cider
was distinct. Like you had that
absolutely.
mule touch, and it was nice.
I mean, we tried 6 ciders, and we could tell that this one was the mule cider. Like you knew what you were diving into. What you were tasting when you picked up this glass and sipped it.
I liked it.
Yeah, you sleepy?
I'm a little tired. Been up since 4:15.
That's fair. That's. I'll give you that. I'll give you the sleepy. Next on our list is the Farmhouse Cider. This was the Farmhouse Cider. It definitely had. Do we have a description on that?
We have them on all of them.
So sexy. Dan, why don't you tell me about?
This is a 7% ABV.
Okay.
This is our take on a wild fermented cider using yeast strain native of our orchards. We harnessed the wild bacteria, microflora from our farms to create the farmhouse and rustic traditional cider that is mildly funky with citrusy notes.
Cool. So the Farmhouse Cider is available in what, Joey? What did they offer it in?
All right, so it is available in a 16.9 ounce and also a 6th keg.
6th.
Is that we talked about that before?
Sixtel.
Soda keg?
How much is in 1/6 of a keg?
The answer is approximately 0.167 keg.
That's the worst fucking answer ever.
All right, Farmhouse Cider. We described it as we described the Farmhouse Cider as almost like a nice farmy taste to it. Honestly, it lives up to its name. It's got a nice hazy yellow color, almost on the side of a little like acidity vinegar taste in there, but still sweet. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was definitely a punch to the mouth though on flavor. It really showed you what you were tasting. Dan, why don't you give me a rating on the Farmhouse Cider? I know you liked this flavor so much that your wife was angry at you.
It was a little vinegary for her, I guess, earthy. I liked it though.
Yes.
I gave it an 8. But I like that flavor profile though, so it kind of stuck out for me.
Yeah, you like to bite into cow pasture.
Sure.
Sure.
If it's vinegary, sure. I'll try anything once. Might be missing out. Salad topping or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd put this on a salad.
I put vinegar on a salad, and she always says it smells like a foot.
No, that's fair. Does she smell your feet often?
Unfortunately, when I get home from work and if I don't take a shower right away.
So you got vinegar feet.
It's something.
Awful. Joey, why don't you tell me what you think of the Farmhouse?
I have rated this as a 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan?
Not a fan. I mean, I would drink it if you had a gun to my head.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. It's for my taste, it is a little too bitter for me. It's not terrible. It's just not the first one I would go to out of all the
flavor
choices they
profile
have.
wasn't here.
Yeah, it's not. In my
it just wasn't your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just a little.
Did you just say that?
I did.
Oh,
It's
nice.
the same time you said
Nice,
it. 'Cause we're
nice.
on fucking
Wavelength.
wavelength.
I'm looking at the wavelengths right now.
wavelengths?
Moving on to number 3 here, because we will never end this episode if I don't, is the barrel-aged reserve cider. Another 16.9 ounce bottle, a little small guy. Do we have a description on that bad boy?
This is an 8.4 ABV. Our barrel-aged reserve cider is a unique blend of bittersweet and bitter-sharp apples, varieties grown right here in our orchards. A complex tart and tannic flavor profile that pairs well with cheese, pork, shellfish, and much more. And it comes in the same bottle sizes that we were all confused about earlier.
16.9 ounce, 500 milliliter, little guy bottle,
And the 6th keg.
and a 1/6 keg.
But strong. I didn't realize it was that strong.
Yeah, it was definitely a stronger cider. I described it as definitely a darker yellow compared to the other ones. Nice and clear, see through the glass kind of thing. This one was on the drier side. This one really, you could feel afterward, almost like a drier white wine. It took your mouth and just kind of tickled the taste buds after you sipped it.
Man, I hate wine.
It did have a wine profile.
It definitely had a little winier
And that's
profile.
why it makes sense now where they say it pairs well with cheese or pork or shellfish.
Yeah.
Definitely
Finger
see
foods,
that.
Yeah, finger foods.
I kinda wanna
finger that food.
I want to go home and smoke some pork.
Nice. Yeah, it was definitely I'm gonna stutter a little more here. It was definitely a more of a winey, more side of the cider. It was like I said, a higher ABV. It had that nice dry crisp flavor afterward. It really would pair nice with a cheese, I believe, like a nice crisp cheese.
I'm not a cheese connoisseur. I don't know what cheese, but I know a cheese.
Yeah, a cheese. I would eat this with a cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, honestly, I could eat any cheese with
I love
anything,
cheese.
so it doesn't really matter. Dan, what did you give this one?
I gave this one a 6 because it did remind me more of like a white wine, and it was a little drier, and I'm more of like a sweet kind of white wine guy. So
Sweet kind of white wine guy.
this one kind of reminded me like more of like a dry white wine. So that's why it was a little lower, but still good. I definitely want to smoke some pork on my pellet grill and have some of that with it.
Yeah, I think it would pair well with it.
That's much better.
Thank you for saying that more elegantly. Good thing we edited that part out so no one heard your assholeness. Shut up, Joey.
Now you messed everything.
Joey, no, it's fine. I'll leave it in. Joey, what did you give the barrel-aged reserve cider?
This one, I put it in at a 2.
Ouch.
Double ouch.
Double ouch.
Thanks, guys.
Why is that, Joey?
It's still just along with the last one, it's not in my wheelhouse. It's the bitterness, not a big fan of it. Like I said, ciders aren't a real big pick for me.
And you don't like
But
wine
I
anyway.
don't turn away from wine. I don't drink wine.
Yeah, so it kind of checked off all your not a fan boxes.
Checked off all my non-boxes.
Yeah, so it was definitely not in your wheelhouse.
I agree. I mean, for this, it's okay. It's just not something I would go to.
That's fair. It's definitely a specific flavor that will only appeal to a certain type of people. If you like a nice dry alcohol, this is definitely one to go to because it is barrel aged. It definitely picks up those dry tannins from the barrel that it's aging in and gives you that nice bite, dry flavor afterward.
I like my alcohol wet.
He likes his alcohol wet.
Wet.
Why don't we jump into the next one? The next cider on our list is the Manchurian Cider. The bottle had a cool design on this one. It really looked like it was gonna kick you in the dick.
It looked spicier than what it was.
So yeah, it kind of gave off a spicy vibe, but I mean, it definitely wasn't. Joey, why don't you give me a description on the Manchurian Cider?
So the Manchurian Cider, it's an 8.2 ABV made with Manchurian crab apples. By themselves, they pack an acidic punch, even with their high bricks content. I don't know what bricks is. I'm not really sure.
Stuff you build with.
Yeah, they're usually rectangular and red.
Fucking guys. So they blended a bit of Winchester cider to round out the flavor and add some subtle tannins. Both barrel aged for 1 year prior to blending for a smooth vanilla and oak characteristic.
What's the ABV on that bad boy?
It's 8.2. I mentioned that before I read the description.
If you were paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention.
Listen up, boy.
So this one comes in another 16.9 ounce bottle, a little small guy, and a 1/6 keg. So it's definitely something that is a nice and tangy flavor. It's made with the crab apple, which is a smaller, tangier apple, usually not one you'd find in a grocery store.
Yep.
It definitely packs a punch.
Are crab apples hard to find?
I mean, you can't really buy them. Do you like when
They're
you go?
not hard to find. You can find them in orchards and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but
You're not going to find them in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you
I don't know if I've ever had a
definitely
crab apple.
They're a smaller, they're like a smaller, angrier looking apple. Like you don't
Just look
like
mean.
like when you think of an apple, you think of the ugly. Well, no, sorry, I don't like Red Delicious, but you think of like the round apple red.
wife
That's
loves them.
the disgusting.
We had a
God,
big
they're so
conversation.
mealy.
They're just the most blown.
Besides the point, when you look in a crab apple, it's this tiny little angry, pissed
wants
off
to fuck
little.
you up.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna punch you in the dick.
All right, I think my buddy Jesse had that when we would feed him to his horses.
Yeah, I used to.
That probably is correct because
This is probably
horses
true.
love crab apples.
Yeah. So yeah, you really get that crab apple flavor, which we described in detail at this point. Is what you feed horses.
It's what horses love. So if you got horses and you're not feeding them crab apples, you're messed up.
You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of poop.
Don't be feeding them the Red Delicious crap.
Correct. So this cider had it was definitely the darkest of the sixths. Nice tangy dark yellow, still clear, not very hazy. It had you could see right through the glass. It definitely had a flavor packed in there. I mean, it was like you said. It looked the bottle made it look like it was going to be angry, and it was angry crab apple wise, but wasn't angry like spicy wise. So after reading the description,
Yeah, it made me think, like, looking at the label, it makes you think it's going to be spicy.
it looked like a bottle of hot sauce.
the red
Honestly,
and the yellows and stuff. Like, it makes it has a fucking dragon.
So it definitely had a nice flavor, and it definitely packed a punch. Tang wise, you don't get a lot of stuff with crab apples in this day and age. So it's definitely something different that we could try.
And they said they had like a variety of like 40 different apples. So
Yeah, and it goes through a process to get into that bottle. So you're getting good stuff right there. Dan, why don't you tell me what you thought of it?
thinking about it more, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Okay.
Because I did want more spice. I don't know why. The bottle, I judged it by the bottle.
Well, that was a mistake from right off the get-go.
Spicy, and it wasn't spicy.
Damn shame.
But maybe they have like a seasonal type one. We'll have to check out.
Joey, what do you think?
And my rating comes in at a 5.
Better
It's
than a 3 and a 2.
That's true.
it wasn't a 3 and a 2.
The last 2 were.
That's true. They were a 3 and a 2. Looking over my notes.
He's like, wow, I'm that mean.
Oh, I forgot how many beers we did.
They're not here, so.
They're
Forgot how many
ciders.
ciders we did.
Oh,
Hey-o.
not in your not a fan.
It's closer to my wheelhouse.
Ooh,
Still
not yet.
outside the door knocking.
Yeah, that means something. I don't know what it means, but
We'll keep knocking, I guess.
sure.
Maybe ring the doorbell next time.
I'd drink it again. It wasn't bad. Like I said, it's not in my wheelhouse. I don't go to ciders, but I would buy this again if we went out. I mean, if they opened a location,
Yeah, you'd pick it up.
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So overall 6.5. I give this one an 8, man. This had the nice flavor to it that I could drink over and over. It was something different. I like different. I like to get those different flavors in my mouth.
Yeah, like you said, there's not many things with crab apples, so.
Yeah, it's definitely something different that you could try a cider of.
So any horse listeners, we're sorry we drank it.
Yeah, sorry horses. No, sorry, apologize to the horses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I'm sorry.
Oh, you
like,
did
they
say
didn't-
horse listeners. I think you meant like horse rider
You have
listeners.
to
No, I meant to
appreciate
the
horses.
themselves.
Oh,
You gotta
sorry.
appreciate horses like Tina does.
Hold on. We apologize, horses. We're sorry.
For stealing your crab apples.
We are sorry, horses.
Moving on. So we went a little out of order here. The first 4 were a big bottle and 3 small bottles. So we were back to the big bottles. Number 5 is just a standard. That's what they call it. The standard.
Run of the mill. This is what they produce.
Run of the
Some of them
mill.
were small batches. I know on the label said small batch.
Number 5, the standard. Do we have a description on the regular old standard old cider?
So the standard is a 5.5 ABV. This cider sets the standard with a bright, fruit-forward flavor profile and medium sweetness. No added sugars or flavors. Just carefully selected apple varieties that are grown, pressed, and fermented here at Big Hill. And this one's available in 12 ounce, 22 ounce, and the 6 keg and the half keg. So this is like their. Well, it says small batch too, though. So I don't know.
I mean, I think they're all a little small batch.
Yeah,
I don't think they're making big monsters.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, all of them say small batch.
Yeah. But this is.
I guess to keep it fresher.
This is their flagship.
Yeah.
You know, this is where they say, "Hey, we're taking apples, we're making it alcoholic, we're selling it to you."
Yeah, the go-to.
Regular go-to, run-of-the-mill cider. I would say run-of-the-mill, but like.
No, but more.
But like you said, a flagship like this. Hey, you want to try our cider? Here's the standard.
This is try this.
Yeah.
You know.
Not run of the mill, run of the hill cider.
Run of the big hill.
Yeah, not a little hill.
So standard, we would describe it as a light yellow, clear, sweet.
Can't read your writing.
Nice sweet smell to it. Thank you. I figured it out. Nice sweet, crisp, and tart flavor to it. I like it. It was, like you said, the flagship cider. You know what you're running in. You know what you're Big Hillin' into. I can't do
It
this.
just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Don't even try it.
I quit. I'm done with you guys.
Shot.
But yeah, it's nothing crazy. You're not trying to like introduce someone into a cider that's just like something super.
Yeah, you don't want
Our
to.
next one is different.
Yeah, you don't want to throw them into like. Hello, I am friend A. I've never tried a cider. Here, try this big dick cider. I don't know. No, this is the cider you give to your friend who says, "Oh, I like cider." Okay.
I think you've had too much cider.
I mean, what else is new? Yeah, so it's like you said, standard around the mill. Dan, why don't you tell me what you gave this one and what you think about it?
I gave it a 7. It is what it is. It was a standard. It was just kind of like simple flavors. It was good. I mean, you can drink it all day. It's an easy drinker. You could drink this all day on the river floating. So it's a good cider.
Go ahead, Joey. Why don't you tell me about the standard cider?
I gave it a 4.
Jeez.
Yeah, don't jeez me.
You're just a mean guy.
Why is that, Joey?
I'm not a mean guy. It's just falling short of my wheelhouse. Like I said, I'm not a big cider drinker, and this isn't fucking hitting all the marks for me.
Okay.
I hope the next one does. You don't even remember the next one.
I know what the next one is.
As we are rounding out our last cider here,
We've had a lot of ciders,
we did. So I bought the 6-pack special.
and we drank them all.
We drank all of them. Our last cider here is the Little Hop Round cider. Joey, why don't you tell me a little bit about that cider?
The Little Round Hop is a 5.5% ABV.
Wow, that well?
Never gonna end this episode.
To elevate.
Do you want me to read it?
I got it. I'm gonna get there.
Get the giggles out.
Oh, I just had deja vu.
I haven't had that in a long time. Is something wrong with me? I used to have it all the time. Like, it's been years. Like, I'm actually worried about it.
Like you're dying?
No, I just remember. I used to have deja vu all the time. I used to remember telling Kristen, like, whoa, I just had deja vu, and I don't remember saying this in a long time.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh, man. Maybe I am dying. Maybe it happens when you turn 30. You don't get deja vu. No, that's a lie, because you're 30. Enjoy him while you can, Alex. Enjoy him while you can.
Holy fuck.
I need to go home. I'm tired now.
Pooped.
I don't even remember what we were doing.
We're trying to start a description of this guy. Tell us about this cider, Joey.
It's so to elevate the cider's bright citrusy personality, they dry hopped it using a blend of whole leaf Columbus, Centennial, and Cascade hops, which is odd to find hops in a cider. This is the first one I've ever seen with it.
It's my first time too.
The legendary 3 C's, as they call it. It has organic lemongrass focuses. They focus on the hop overtones and adds a citrusy finish to the light and effervescent cider.
It's an odd description.
But
it was an odd cider, but it was really good.
It's the most odd cider I've ever had.
So it was definitely something that was a little outside the normal cider spectrum. It had a nice flavor to it. It was very tangy. It was hoppy, but most of all, it was refreshing. Like, it was like,
oh yeah,
man, this is this is a cider. We drink a lot of beer. This is a cider that you drink when it's like 98 degrees out and you want to get some liquid back in. Yeah, shower.
A shower cider.
Shower cider.
Shitty day at work.
Okay.
Shower cider. I had a shower beer the other day after we talked about it.
Nice.
Felt good.
It was nice. It was a light, clear cider. It was very light. Like, all the ciders. I mean, a cider has a yellow tint to it. This one was almost clear. It was almost like a seltzer. You're looking at it. Very slight yellow to it, but it had a nice hoppy flavor to it. It didn't overpower the cider because you still get the nice sweet apple taste to it, but it had
subtle. It wasn't like an IPA, like it hits you in the face with the hops. This was very subtle.
Yeah, it was nice, subtle hoppy flavor to it, giving those nice undertones of the nice grassy, lemony, citrusy taste to it. So I can definitely describe it as that way. What do you give it, Dan?
I gave it a 9. It was really good. I would probably order like a 6-pack, or I'd probably order a keg. I don't know. I'll do it.
1/6 of a keg?
No, a half keg. I'll do
it. Yeah, definitely up there on this scale. Joey, what did you give the Little Hop Round cider?
I gave it a 6.
There you go. Moving up.
Not bad.
In my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was
on
definitely
the lower side.
It was your second highest rated cider of the day.
Obviously, we are.
Weird. I thought it'd be higher.
I mean, second highest is still pretty high out of 6.
Just saying. Thought it'd be higher.
Top 33%.
Top 32%.
33%.
What was your rating?
I gave it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah, I like it.
I'd drink
like
it.
I said, nice, refreshing. Man, I could drink this on a nice, hot, sunny day, doing drywall in the sun, because that's where you do drywall.
I'm about to say.
Your attic probably feels like you're right under the sun.
It's not. I mean, it's a half floor. It's not an attic.
It's shaped like an attic.
Triangular.
Yeah, slanted roofs.
Yeah,
my attic's slanted.
But can you live in your attic?
I could.
Do you want to live in your attic?
It's not insulated. Maybe. After I did all the work you did, it'd be livable.
That's fair.
So maybe you want to work in my attic after?
No.
You could have a nice big man cave.
No. So I think that about wraps it up after that nonsense. We tried 6 great ciders from Big Hill Ciderworks. I think we all tried something a little different, something a little new today. They make good product. I think they take apples and they make them delicious.
Yeah. And apples are delicious to begin with, except red delicious apples. So
yeah, what a lie of a name. Hey, thanks for listening to our latest episode of Keystone Eats. I hope you enjoyed this one about Big Hill Ciderworks. I think they make great product. You should definitely check them out. We'll put their link in the description below. Click on that link and order some cider from them because it is pretty freaking delicious and it's not... it's good priced, good stuff, good product. They're really taking apples and making them. Yeah, you take apple and you make apple-ade. You know, when life gives you apples, you make apple-ade.
Apple-ade.
That's a fact.
Cider. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our website. Yeah. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcasts,
Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Yeah. Any of your podcast platforms.
All of them. Check them out.
Check them out. Tell a friend.
let a friend know to listen to our show. When you have a friend listen, it makes me happy.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. If that friend doesn't tell a friend, he's not your friend.
Yeah, some friend they are.
Yeah, fuck that friend.
Fuck that friend.
Jeez.
Check out our website, KeystoneEats.com. You can subscribe to our website updates there. Drop your email in there, and you will get an email whenever we have an update, episode, any kind of feature we have going on, any kind of news we got coming up. We're talking about other places and stuff that's going on there. So check that out, KeystoneEats.com. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Give us a like, rate, subscribe, follow.